Okay, let's do it. It's, I don't know, it's getting closing in on noontime on Friday, the 15th of January. Eric Arnold back in the sports barn, getting frustrated over his losing in college basketball, but nonetheless, here to get you 4 more games for college basketball on Friday, and we're going to give the people what they want. They're all on TV. So, you know, if you're sitting there doing nothing tonight, and you're thinking, I'm bored, the only college or the only sporting events on tonight, as far as I know, oh, right, I don't count the NBA. Don't care about the NBA, have no interest in the NBA. So, if you're of a similar mindset and you like college basketball, this is a place to be. So, anyway, couple things. Somebody stopped by and commented on my golf club, which is the second pointer that we are using here in the barn. The previous pointer was, I think, a driver that the head had fallen off of, and that got smashed in a bit of a fit of frustration and anger earlier in the year in the sports barn. So now we're on to an actual club, and it is a 3-iron. So we will do our best not to break this one, in that this one still has some utility if I ever play golf again. So there's that. A new fella stopped by and he congratulated me on winning 6 out of 7 picks. Honestly, sir, I don't know what you're referring to, because we lost 5 out of 7 last night. Not happy about it, but I like you. So you can stay because you think I win when I lose. Man, dude, you're one of my favorite people. Please stay. I don't know. Maybe he was looking at an older video. I don't know. At any rate, what did happen, it's like, I don't know. I'm feeling like the whole world is gaslighting me right now. You know, that means some people are telling you things that have happened that didn't really happen. Like my wife, she said last night, oh, we're getting another 100 teddy bears. I told you about that. It's like, no. I did not know about another 100 teddy bears coming to the house. Did not know a thing about that. I could say things a little more liberally for the moment about my wife, because I sent her flower. I didn't send it. I brought it personally to her place of employment. So I figured that buys me a few wife jokes, at least for the next, 2 videos, maybe. Maybe that was my joke right there and I don't get any more. But, yeah, it was worth it. So, yeah, no, don't know nothing about no 100 teddy bears. Don't know nothing about that. Anyway, where were we? So, we win when we lose, 100 teddy bears. Let's see, losers. That would be last night, losers. Never, that's part of why I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm just going to pick these games on TV, and I don't care if I have any kind of angles or historical things going that way. I'm doing like shit with that. So, the hell with it. Let's just pick games that are on TV. So, here, Charleston Southern, I think they lost by 40. It was, and this is on me. The way I'm doing my handicapping is kind of the way I did it last year when there were fans in the stands, when things were normal, and we had some success doing it last year, but it's all different now. So, this game lost by 40 points, literally. So, Jesus. Merrimack, they won the conference last year, but they couldn't get up to beat poor old Mount St. Mary's. They lose, and not by a little. Longwood covered. That was nice. Big points there came in handy. This was probably my favorite game of the night, and it did win. Long Island getting the W over Wagner. So, we're 2-2, and I'm thinking, all right, this could be a winning night. This could be a winning night. And then, late night was just, a perfect bag of shit. Portland, they got out to an early lead, and I'm feeling okay. I've got like a 20-some point lead here, and I'm thinking, all right, things going okay. And then, of course, that's what happens with bad teams. They'll just stop scoring for 10 minutes at a time. And, San Francisco reeled off like a 30-3 run on them, and boom, well, there went that win. So Portland's a bad team with a bad coach. And I did the exact same thing that I said don't do. I got to look out for it. I backed the dead coach. Terry Porter is in the last year of his 5-year contract. He's dead. He knows he's dead. The team knows he's dead. Everyone knows he's dead. He's dead. So no one's going to play hard for this guy, and I bet him anyway. So, that's just careless oversight. Stupid. This was interesting. This TV game here, San Diego State versus Utah State. That's the first time I've seen Utah State, and my thought is, man, these guys are so much better than San Diego State. San Diego State's best player did not play well. He played the first, 30, 32 minutes. I think he got hurt. And then it was out for the rest of the game. Mitchell, he did not play well. So that didn't help. But it just struck me that Utah State has a lot more ways to hurt you than San Diego State does. That San Diego State is so inept offensively. If you're going to be that bad offensively, then your defense has to be airtight. And it simply wasn't last night. So I think it is San Diego State, that's a good team, but their margin for error against better teams is pretty narrow. I'm curious to see what happens. They play again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm curious to see if it's a totally different game or it'll be a mirror of what happened last night. I may watch some of that just to see, will San Diego State suffocate Utah State, or will just go through the motions because they know they've got one in the bag already in this back-to-back? Or is it just going to be a repeat of what we saw last night where, it's pretty much both teams playing really good defense, but Utah State simply has guys that can make threes, and San Diego State really doesn't. Plus, Utah State has a really solid inside guy there with that Queta, Queta, and he, as long as he's in the game, that guy makes it tough to score, and you can throw the ball into him occasionally, and he can get you an easy basket at the rim. Curious to see what happens. And then this one, I don't know what happened there. We lost. It was sort of close, but we lost. I'm annoyed because pretty much in all 7 of these games, maybe 5 out of 7, we had the best of it. And by that I mean, I bet a number overnight, and the number moved in my direction. In other words, everybody else said, why, yes, that's the right answer. Southern Utah should not be a 6.5 point underdog. Let's bet on them. And the number moved down to like 5.5. So I'm feeling pretty good. Like, hey, I'm right, and I've got a better price than a lot of people got. I think that one moved in my direction. Merrimack moved in my direction. Not sure about that one. I think that one moved against me, and I won it. Go figure. Anyway, so that was disappointing. But at any rate, let's get to, I know I promised you NFL picks. When I'm going to get to them, I've got another person that has nothing to do with the sports farm anxiously awaiting me to do work for him. So that's got to be next. We'll get to you, sir. And then the NFL, God, we'll get to it. I don't know when. Maybe I'll be out here 4 in the morning overnight doing it. The one pick I do think is just going to be is we're going to take the Packers. I haven't seriously looked at it. I don't even know what the number is. That's how much I have not looked at it. But I think I've got the Rams figured out. That's all year. That's been a Jekyll and Hyde team, and they played a good game last week, so now they're going to be high. And, you know, their two best players are hurt. I mean, Aaron Donald said, well, I'll be ready to go by Saturday. Well, okay, right there. That means you're not ready to go now. So somewhere between now, which is like 72 hours before kickoff, he isn't ready to play. He can't play. So he's magically going to be the 100% Aaron Donald in 72 hours? Ain't no way. So he's going to be limited. Goff has a banged up thumb, and even if he didn't, he's just so. You're going up against a hungry Aaron Rodgers. Whatever the number is, I'm taking the Packers. I'm almost sure of that. And then I don't even know what the other game is tomorrow, so we're haven't gotten to it yet. All right, let's get some winners here in college basketball. I haven't updated those numbers in a while, just because I'm sure it'll depress me. We're probably hitting around 500 in college basketball. We can do better. What I decided, I'm going to try something new here. I'm still trying to find my groove, my thing, the thing that gives us winners. So I've just decided, I'm actually going to try to research these games instead of just going off my historical model and just freelance them. And we got 4 games all on TV today, going at 5 o'clock out of the Conference USA, UAB versus Charlotte. And this is an interesting game. UAB is a historical power that's kind of fallen on hard times. Charlotte, they used to be really good back in the 70s. What's that have to do with this? Nothing. Just thought I'd mention it. Pomeroy numbers, UAB 101, Charlotte 169. UAB's been beating up some relatively weak competition. But they haven't really played anybody yet. And then Charlotte, they have some, they have a weird resume so far this year. They've beaten some pretty good teams. They beat Western Kentucky, which is supposed to be the best team in the Conference USA. But then they've lost to some, they're coming off a loss to a Division II school. What I've learned, or what I think I've learned on Charlotte, is their coach is a guy that used to be an assistant at Virginia. So they play that suffocating half-court defense, and I think that if they surprise an opponent with that, they can give them real trouble. Maybe that's what happened against Western Kentucky. They don't seem to be very deep. In my notes, I said, looks like these guys only play really 5 guys. And beyond that, no one's any good. They have the best player that will be out on the court this afternoon. They have him. He's their guard, and his name escapes me. Seems like a lot of these, it just occurred to me. It's like, was it Jordan? No, there was another Jordan. No, that other team had a Jordan. It's like all these kids are named Jordan. Go figure. I guess that makes sense. Let's see, what is this? 2020. So they would have been born in that 98, 99, 2000 era. So I guess everybody that thought their kid could play basketball or wanted their kid to play basketball, they named them all Jordan, I guess. Anyway, UAB, here's what we're doing here as we stumble around here. UAB, I just lost the screen, you son of a bitch. There. I guess I spend so much time in this game. I decided to put 2 stars on it. I mean, I'm spending hours on these. All All right, once again, the camera shut off, so let's move right into it. I'm going to try something different. We'll just pick it up where we left off and edit the two together and see how long that takes. But we're taking UAB. The thinking there basically is that UAB has a different coach than they did last year. They went up there, they played Charlotte last year, they lost. It was a very similar game to this one. The spread was almost the same. It was a nip and tuck game. UAB turned the ball over. Just apparently Charlotte plays like Virginia, that Virginia kind of defense, because the coach is a disciple of Tony Bennett, former assistant of. And we're thinking that this is just going to be a better UAB team with a better coach. The Ehsan, E-H-S-A-N. He's out. Andy Kennedy is in. He's a better coach, we say. So that's the thinking here with UAB, that they are just going to be a little deeper than Charlotte, deeper, definitely deeper. They go, more guys can play, we think, on the UAB team than on Charlotte. Charlotte probably has the best player on the floor, but they don't go as deep. So UAB here, get the 2 points. That's what we're doing there. St. Bonaventure, this is a play against Duquesne. St. Bonaventure's just who they are. That's a real solid team. They're all juniors. They've all played together for a couple years. It's a good team. It's a good coach. Duquesne, this is a team that's just lost two of their starters, including a guy who they called last year. The coach said last year to a reporter that Sincere Carey, that's the name of the player, he was the heart and soul of the team. Heart and soul of the team, and this guy quit 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I mean, how do you overcome that? You know, they haven't had a week off, Duquesne. You know, they've been playing a lot of games, even in the stretch where the two guys quit, where they just haven't had time to sit and set their feet and get a series of practices and hold elections as to who's the new heart and soul of the team. So I think that's got to hurt this team. I mean, they both have some talent. I mean, Ken Pomeroy's got Duquesne at 104. That's pretty good, you know. That you're still in the top third of the country in teams. But we just kind of think you're in a state of flux right now. You're going up against a super organized, cohesive team in St. Bonaventure. Duquesne, a lot of moving pieces right now. Haven't figured out who's doing what role belongs to who. Maybe look for Duquesne later in the year. But that's a pretty steep price, 8.5. But we're going to lay it. We're going to lay it. I don't see any other way to do that. So we're going to take St. Bonaventure, lay the points. Wisconsin RUTGERS. Well, both teams coming off losses. Wisconsin earlier in the week were at Michigan. This is the conclusion of a 5-day trip here for Wisconsin. So I think Tuesday they were at Michigan, and they just got trashed. I mean, totally trashed. It was, I think the score was 69-29 at one point, where that's pretty bad. You know, that's Michigan just, pick whatever metaphor you want, beating, raping, what have you. It was awful. And Wisconsin knows it. Their coach knows it. His post-game press conferences were along the lines of, hey, we had 6 personal fouls the whole game. It tells me we really weren't very aggressive. You know, that's coach speak for, we just got bent over and trained by Michigan. So that's no good. That's no good at all. And I think these guys have been stewing in a hotel room for the last 2 nights saying, I can't wait to get back out on the floor and foul somebody just to let the coach know that I'm here to play hard tonight. We just think Wisconsin's better than Rutgers. Rutgers, I like their team. That's a tough team. But their best player is Ron Harper Jr., and he hasn't been playing well lately. He turned his ankle at the end of December. He missed the game. Since then, he just hasn't been the same player. I don't know if that's because he's hurt or that's because he's playing so much better competition and the Big Ten teams are just taking him out of the game. Either way, Pinkel, in his post-game press conference after they lost to Ohio State, he kept saying over and over again, we need to get healthy, we need to get healthy, we need to get healthy. Well, they've been off for 6 days, so is that enough to get healthy? I don't know. I mean, I think I'd like to see them play a good game before I just assume that they're healthy. Even if they were healthy, Wisconsin's better. I just think they're better. I mean, Rutgers has already lost twice to Ohio State. Everything Ohio State can do, I think Wisconsin can do, and even better. Wisconsin has 5 seniors. All of them can shoot the 3. I think that's probably another difference here. Wisconsin shoots 3s. Rutgers really can't. The only thing that would save this game for Rutgers is that they're a tough home team. And that is a tough place to play up there at Piscataway. But there are no fans. So I just don't see really a whole lot here to make me want to take Rutgers in this spot. The price is not that steep. You're only laying 2.5 here with Wisconsin. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 2.5. I don't think I see this any other way. So there's Wisconsin. And then late night, last game, 11 o'clock Eastern time. I think this one's on CBS. The Mountain West, we got Fresno State getting 6.5 over Nevada. Fresno, they got off to a slow start. Both teams are kind of fielding entirely new teams. All their good players from the previous year gone. So both coaches have brought in a whole new gang of dudes, transfers, freshmen, what have yous. Fresno got caught up in the COVID early, lost 2 games badly to Colorado State early on. But now they're starting to catch a little bit of a rhythm, I think. They beat San Jose State, big difference. San Jose State 2 times last weekend. I think that's given them a little more confidence. They're starting to mesh together. Nevada, they're pretty good. They're definitely pretty good. Pomeroy's got them significantly ranked better than Fresno State, but we're getting 6.5 in an empty arena. And Alford himself, that's Coach Nevada, Steve Alford, he has said that his team plays better on the road this year. Now that doesn't mean they're always going to play better on the road, and maybe that's his way of saying, you better show up Friday night at home because I'm tired of losing at home. Maybe. Some teams just have a way of, they just get it. They just become who they are. And if you play tough on the road, that's who you are. And you're soft at home, that's who you are. And maybe that's what's happening here with this Nevada team. But at any rate, we'll take the 6.5 for Fresno. Oh, one other thing on Fresno. They had a player I noted that was the best player on the floor, according to Ken Pomeroy. He gave him the MVP in their last game out, and he's an unheralded sophomore. He's a transfer from Oregon State. I think his name is Jordan Campbell, is number 5. He, a guy that has hardly played at all, and now all of a sudden he's the MVP. So I'm thinking that gives you some hidden value here with Fresno State, that maybe Fresno State's going to play surprisingly well tonight. And where did this come from? Well, maybe it's this number 5 that nobody knows anything about. So that's how we're going to play that. All right, that's that. Good enough. I got so much more to do, I owe you NFL picks yet. That's coming. Like I said, we like the Packers. I know that. UAB, St. Bonaventure, Wisconsin, Fresno State. Hit the like button. We like that when you do that. Subscribe. We like that even better. Thanks to everybody that's here. Good basketball, and we'll see you again. Eric Arnold out.